The Camel Boy card comes as a reminder that asking for help from the right people can ease the burden in your life. When you are overwhelmed, stressed, frustrated, and tired, seek out a friend to give you advice, or someone who is well versed and seasoned in that area. Let someone help lighten your load. You don't have to be perfect all the time. Let go of some of that control and allow others to help. All right, I had to take a moment to let my fur baby in. She likes to lay by my feet when I do some of these videos. Some videos I don't allow her in here because I have certain beliefs when it comes to the presence of certain types of beings during certain types of sessions. We'll just put it that way and leave it alone from there. I am feeling guided to continue with Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. This conversation with the cards pertaining to these unseen attachments, these squatters. Of sorts. All right. We've already touched on the Camel Boy. Let's see what else comes out for the collective. Source, messages pertaining to these unseen attachments, please. We have the Lady of the Mirror. Interestingly enough, we went from 33 to 44 here. Moving on up. Yes, moving on up. And that really is the objective. But it's not what it seems, and certainly not how you perceive it may look. It requires a lot of this. Because although self-help for the most part is a facade, there are certain golden nuggets we can find through reflection of ourselves, taking a long, hard look at what we have going on internally and externally. And the more we do so, the more we ascend with humility, and it transmutes more so into this non-judgment. So let's talk about the Lady of the Mirror. She represents the powerful force of the law of attraction and reminds us that what we are is what we attract. Asking us to see ourselves in the mirror made by the events in our lives. She represents the powerful force of the law of attraction, and what we are is what we attract. This is not to say that we need to blame ourselves for inviting these transgressions and these attachments, or if we find or if we how do I put this? If we find ourselves within the web woven through our life, our relationships, opportunities, desires, seeming failures, and successes, observe how we have responded to these challenges, great and small, and be aware of what is familiar in the present. Release all judgment and accept things as they are with love. And then, of course, we refer to, first and foremost, the only way to find true healing is through the ultimate creator, the Most High. Seeing the truth of and within ourselves, honoring every part of our story as it is essential, is not to say to honor the attachments, but the lesson that is instilled in the journey and the experience of continuously cleansing them out. What was there to learn from that space in between? Can you see yourself as being exactly where you need to be on your path? Do you love what you see in the mirror? Can you perceive your part in your reactions and the motives behind your current inquiries? You will find your answer in a thorough and honest appraisal. Ultimately, we take responsibility for these attachments and what we have attracted into our lives. Instead of blaming circumstances, people, missing opportunities, and mistakes, let alone leaning towards revenge. Although it is an easier path for many, and this is why the 90th percentile of humanity has some form of attachments daily. And often we spend too much time looking at what has gone wrong, and then we don't realize that this is what keeps things going wrong. This is what keeps these beings, this energy attached in its comfort zone. And when we take authority for what our lives look like, it gives us strength, it gives us a sense of control, and gives us choice. Once we realize where these patterns are, where these attachments are, the red flags no longer being ignored, where we may have let people in who did not have our highest good in mind, being guided to surround ourselves and be in fellowship with the pious, with those who do good deeds. And we do good deeds. Realizing where our own choices could have been less than healthy, and that we have the choice to change our mind. We have the choice to change our mind. Let's talk about the number 44. Unlocking stability and the strength needed to achieve long-term goals. It is a key. It is a key and a symbol of stability that we co-create with Source. Building a solid foundation through hard work. The vibrational essence embodies the energies of self-discipline, self-confidence, and resilience. But we already know that this isn't necessarily self-anything when Source is involved. When Source is involved and is always involved, creating resilience, integral parts of achieving success in all areas of life. A reminder to maintain a positive mindset as well as that positive feedback, and listen to our inner wisdom, as that is where our guardian angels speak to us, is through that inner wisdom, those intuitions, encouraging us to trust in our abilities and persevere in the face of challenges. It's also a sign that we are already on the right path and that our dedication and hard work is about to pay off. There is a deeper spiritual meaning and a sign that we are absolutely being guided and supported by angels, by spirit guides, by Source. All things through Source. A reminder to trust in this divine guidance and know that it is always available to us. Encouraging us to tap into the inner wisdom and listen to the whispers of our soul. The science of the soul. A reminder that we have the power to create our own reality and to manifest our desires into existence. We're not only on the right path, we are being supported. We are not only being monitored, we are being supported. Stay focused, remain positive, and continue working towards your goals. It most certainly carries a profound message. Trust your intuitions, stay laser focused, and persevere in the face of these challenges. These challengers being the attachments, the unseen squatters. Our guides are with us, offering support and guidance, reminding us to stay grounded, to trust in divine timing, and embrace this hard work and perseverance. Believing in the abundance that awaits us. We have the power to manifest our dreams and co-create a life of purpose and fulfillment. Source, what more do we need to know about these unseen beings, please? The well watcher, the wisdom and the power of the divine, and the number 7. The number 7, as mentioned in other content, is a very powerful number. Some would say it's a lucky number. We can conquer these attachments through the wisdom and the power of the divine. Oops. Let me see here. There is an owl, of course, perched on her shoulder. But if we look a little closer to the well, it seems as though there is also another bird of some kind. And it looks to be like a pale blue. So we, instead of looking up the significance of the owl at this time, we're going to look deeper. We're going to drink deeper and look into the significance of the bluebird as a creature teacher. Let's zoom in here so that we are on the same level. Right here. Oop, and then it went. There we go. The bluebird totem enters our life when we are in the process of sacrificing everything that brings us joy in order to achieve something. Their totem is here to tell us that our happiness should be our first priority and is a price too high to pay for achieving any goal or milestone. So, a totem is a spirit being, sacred object, or symbol of a tribe, clan, family, or individual. A totem animal is one that is with you for life, both in the physical and spiritual world. Because once we give it up, no matter how huge our achievements are, we will end up leading a joyless life, and that certainly defeats the purpose, doesn't it? The whole point of working hard and making sacrifices is to earn something that brings us joy in the end, and that's what bluebird totems teach us. While most of the birds are symbolic of freedom, the bluebirds are symbolic of being grounded. These birds do not seek to explore the world. They'd rather spend their entire lifespan being happily cooped up in a place surrounded by their loved ones. We can learn from their spirits and totems that ambitions are not everything. The people who are content with lesser are much happier than those who have larger-than-life dreams. If we truly want to live a full life, we should prioritize our happiness over everything else. In terms of culture, they are deeply spiritual creatures, and it's common to see one when our life has hit a low point. The magical tune that they sing or the bright colors of their feathers can help to remind us of the positive nature of life and the beauty of the world in which we live. Bluebirds may also remind us that we should be spending more time with nature so that we can connect with our spiritual self, our higher self, and source, which we are always connected, but to be consciously connected is something entirely different. Many cultures, folklores, and mythologies echo the spirit meaning of this bird, a living personification of happiness and good luck. Interestingly enough, I mentioned the number 7 being stated by some as a lucky number. And the bluebird, which I had to look for, I had to look deeper. I had to drink deeper from that well, beloveds. Through the power of the divine. And here we are, speaking on a personification of happiness and good luck. The spiritual importance of the bird is attached to the spreading of joy and happiness. In Native American legend, let's see, the Pima, the people of this group, consider the bluebird to be symbolic of growth, transformation, transition, and the harbinger of spring, the season of renewal. In popular folklore among them, which talks about an ugly bird that lived near their tribe a long time ago, the bird was devastated about the way she looked and wished desperately for a miracle that would transform her into something less horrifying. Then one day she found a hidden lake, a well of sorts. She found a hidden lake. It was believed that the water of this lake would transform anyone into their best version. Like the lady in the mirror. Like the lady in the mirror. However, some also said that the water of the lake was poisonous, which is why everyone stayed away from it. The bluebird knew it was a huge gamble. If the rumors about the water being poisonous were true, she would lose her life. Bravely, she flew right into the lake without caring about the consequences and bathed in the water. The lake spirit was surprised by the bird's courage for not fearing the sea or fearing change and transformed her into a magnificent bluebird. Also said that the bird looked exactly the same after taking a dip in the lake, but her perspective towards herself had changed, and she embraced herself with all of her flaws. This is why they consider the bluebird to be a good transition mentor and a symbol of a new tomorrow. Some of you dealing with attachments may be feeling guided at this time to reach out to a transition mentor, a Rob of sorts. The Dene, the tribesmen of the Navajo and Iroquois, the bluebirds symbolize good fortune, fertility, and prosperity. These birds were often seen during the spring season and were thus associated with growth and new beginnings. Our spiritual guides are trying to send us a message, sometimes appearing in life when we're feeling lonely, entering to remind us that we are not alone and that these angelic spirits are right beside us, keeping us company. And the next time you see a bluebird, don't stare too long, as you are being guided to actually pay extra special attention to yourself, your surroundings, and the state of your life. Whatever question you have, think about it inside your mind and listen carefully to its song. You could be able to recognize the symbolism of the bird uniquely to you, and the message you perceive will be of great importance and can prove to be pivotal for your life in general. There are many obstacles that we face, and when we try to achieve something greater in the realm of divinity, therefore we need to stay focused and not lose hope that we will cross the finish line and achieve the happiness we deserve. And on that path, the bluebird will be our companion to ensure that we reach the finish line with good health so that we can celebrate our success. Thank you so very much, Bluebird Behavioral Health, and embodying the totem, the spirit, and the symbolism of the bluebird. Wow. Wow. I'm being guided to request one more message through this conversation with the cards. Source, what more do we need to know pertaining to these attachments? The webbed weaver, synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect, and the number 4 showing itself again. So we're also going to be looking at 444 symbolically, simply by adding a 4. Through these long, hard looks, and trusting in the power and the wisdom of the divine, remaining connected, expanding our consciousness, synchronizing, in comes this wave, but I also want to say rays of divine intelligence. 444 conveys a powerful message of love, support, and guidance from our angels, further supporting stability, security, and a strong foundation, offering unwavering support. A reminder that we have the power to create the life we desire through our thoughts and our actions, but all things through Source. As our thoughts are a living spark of Source, and through our actions, this Source is experiencing itself in billions of different ways. And we're being encouraged to focus on positive thinking and believe beyond all doubt in the abundance that is available to us. The Ringmaster of Scrutiny at the bottom. Discernment, clear vision, and details. As well as the number 9. Representing completion, although not a final ending, more like the fulfillment of one cycle so that we can prepare to initiate the next one. So by connecting with Source and clearing away that negative voltage, we are also opening up our sacred heart to recognize the ongoing ebb and flow and co-create a more positive voltage. Practicing discernment, surrounding ourselves with like-minded in terms of discernment, in terms of good deeds, recognizing life's ongoing ebb and flow. The number 9 is the last of the single-digit numbers, which are known as the cardinal numbers, and the highest in value. The number 9 shows that we've lived and learned, that we're engaged with living our life in a meaningful and conscious manner, and we're setting rewarding goals. If you are a life path number 9, then you are compassionate, patient, generous, understanding, and creative, drawn towards careers based in service or the arts, also drawn to good causes and charitable efforts, and you can often be found fighting for the rights of others. You feel good when you do good. Serving your family, community, and the wider world is the ultimate destiny pathway. And you may not even necessarily be a life path number 9, but you resonate with that context and content of character. Whether you work in medicine, teaching, government, music, art, writing, acting, being drawn to good causes, acts of service. Yes. That is one sure way to protect ourselves from that infiltration, that B&E of sorts in terms of those unseen beings, the squatters, the spiritual squatters, attachments. I'm feeling guided to end it here. Thank you so very much for tuning in, and there will be more of this in the up and coming. I thank you so very much for being here. Much gratitude and appreciation. I hope these messages find you well, beloveds. Brightest blessings.